Here's everything you need to know about charging the VW ID4, including tips and recommendations from a 4-year owner. Hey everyone, my name is Weston and welcome back to EV Help Hub, your place for electric car tips, reviews, and ownership guides. I'm going to cover charging the ID4 at home and on the road, and talk about an accessory every ID4 owner should have. So let's get started. Home charging. The ID4, like most non-Tesla EVs, uses the SAE J1772 port, which is the standard plug type for level 1 and level 2 charging in North America. With your ID4's included cable, you can have between 2 and 4 miles of range per hour, depending upon what trim you have. That means it would take 3 days to fully charge the car's battery from 0% to 100% using this equipment. That's why most EV owners plug in each night to replace only the range they use on a daily basis. In fact, this is how I charged my ID4 for the first couple of years that I owned it. Though it was completely doable, I recently switched to level 2 charging, which has been a game changer. Using a level 2 capable outlet like the NEMO 1450, charging speeds can increase 10 to 12 times compared to level 1 cables, adding between 25 and 35 miles of range per hour to the ID4. The level 2 charging cable that I use refuels my ID4's battery from a daily 40-mile commute in about an hour and 15 minutes, versus the 12 to 13 hours it took before. I've been using Lectron's level 1 and level 2 combo portable charging cable for the past few months, and it's been great. Not only does it have one of the highest power outputs of any portable charger you can buy at 40 amps, but since it gives you the flexibility to switch to a level 1 adapter, it means less equipment to take with you on the road. You can find a link to it in the description below if you're interested. You can also buy hardwire home charging boxes, which can improve charging speeds another 20% or so. They are quite a bit more expensive, have to be professionally installed, and of course, they aren't portable. One thing many new EV owners may not know is that level 2 charging is more efficient than level 1, as it minimizes energy loss during the charging process. So even if you spend more money up front to buy this type of equipment, over time, it'll pay for itself. Home charging costs. Speaking of money, the ID4 has up to a usable 77 kilowatt hour battery pack, and with the average cost of electricity being 16 cents per kilowatt hour, you'll pay around $15 to $20 to drive 290 miles in the larger battery pack rear-wheel drive trim. Home charging tips. Here's some things to keep in mind to get the best experience out of charging your ID4 at home. You can set your ID4's charge port to unlock once charging is complete, but what if you want to remove the equipment before it's done? Here's how. You can push stop charging on the center screen, grab the key fob and push the unlock button, but the most convenient way is to open the front passenger's door and hit the unlock button there. If you have a time of use electricity plan, you can set preferred charging times by going to the charging menu, then locations. Here, you'll want to create a location name. I'll set mine to home. Then on the next menu, scroll down until you see preferred charging times. Select one of the available slots, and then you'll see these 2 clocks. Set them to your preference. Make sure you check the box so it's active. Now the ID4 will only charge during these times. For daily use, you should really try to keep your battery charged between 30 and 70%, as this is best for reducing capacity loss over time. Public charging. There are 2 different ways to charge the ID4 when you're away from home: DC fast chargers and destination chargers. Starting with the quickest method available, the newest ID4s can accept up to 170 kilowatts of power from a level 3 DC fast charging station using the CCS charge port type. Networks with compatible equipment include Electrify America, EVgo, ChargePoint, and others. However, the ID4 can also charge at some Tesla Supercharger locations that offer the Magic Dock adapter, which are integrated into the stalls. No extra equipment needed. In the near future, VW will be offering ID4 owners an adapter which they can use to charge at even more Tesla Supercharger locations, but we're not quite there yet. One thing to keep in mind when you're fast charging your ID4 is that EVs experience what is known as a charging curve. Essentially, to protect the battery's health, your ID4 will accept more power from a fast charging station at a low state of charge, and then power will taper off as the battery pack gets filled up. A general rule of thumb is that the ID4's battery pack will take about 30 minutes to charge from 10% to 80% using a DC fast charging station in ideal conditions. Factors like cold weather or extreme heat can slow this down a bit. One more thing you should know about is that oftentimes DC fast chargers will split power between 2 different stalls, so try not to park next to someone else who's already at a stall next to the charger you're planning on using. The other way to refuel your ID4's battery pack while on the road is by using destination chargers. These can be found everywhere, from shopping malls to hotels, and oftentimes they are much less expensive to use or even completely free. They can be very similar to level 2 home charging equipment. Therefore, you can expect the same 25 to 35 miles of range added per hour when using them. One must-have charging accessory that I recommend to every single ID4 owner is a Tesla to J1772 adapter. This lets you use both the Tesla home charging stations and Tesla destination chargers. The adapter I've been using is also made by Electron, and it only goes for around $100, and it is certified to the SGS standard for electrical safety. This adapter works great, and it's been a lifesaver since there are so many Tesla destination chargers where I travel. Public charging cost. Public charging costs are getting quite expensive and can vary based on location, level, and network, but you can expect to pay somewhere between 30 cents and 50 cents per kilowatt hour of energy delivered, or around $25 to $45 for a 0% to 100% charging session. To complicate things even further, some stations still charge by session time and not energy delivered, and others may include a session fee that's a set price of around $3 to $5. How to pay for public charging. Though more and more public charging stations have credit card readers where you don't have to have an account or app to start a session, there are still many that require both. Truthfully, it's easiest just to download the apps and create an account for those charging networks you plan to use the most. Because once you do these things, starting a charging session can be as easy as holding your phone next to the NFC reader. Public charging tips. Keep these things in mind so you can get the best charging experience when you're out on the road with your ID4. Talking about the Electrify America network specifically, there can be a communication issue, especially with the older charging stalls. To avoid this, open the Electrify America app on your phone, select the stall you're parked in, and then swipe to activate a charging session before you plug in. Wait a couple of seconds and then connect the charger. Another Electrify America specific tip is that if you arrive at a crowded station where one of the stalls says it's unavailable or not working, call Electrify America customer support. You'll get a real person and they may be able to restart the charger remotely in just a couple of minutes. On that same note, don't walk away from any public charging station as soon as you plug your ID4 in. I've had many sessions over the years where everything looks good just for charging to stop a minute or two later. So give it just a little bit of time before leaving your car. If you're not getting the fast charging speeds you expect based on the conditions, there are 3 things I have tried before that can help. First, stop charging, unplug, and restart the session after a few seconds. The second option is to change to another stall if it's available. Finally, this last one is a little annoying. Get out of your ID4, walk away so that it will go to sleep, and then try again after about 5 minutes. Yes, this has worked for me in the past, and it has more than tripled the charging speeds I was getting, so the time wasted does get made up for. You can have the ID4 automatically precondition the battery for maximum charging speeds by navigating to a public fast charger using the in-car Maps software. Public charging and DC fast charging especially can get quite expensive, but there is a way to save some money if you do it a lot if you sign up for a membership. Memberships typically entail a monthly fee of around $10 to $15, but charging rates are significantly reduced each time you plug in. I highly recommend downloading an app like PlugShare to find public chargers, where users can leave reviews, comments, and photos of stations. I have another video on how to find Tesla Superchargers that offer a magic dock. You can learn more at evhelphub.com/magicdock. A few more tips. If a charger gets stuck in your ID4 and won't release, you can manually retract the charge port lock by opening the trunk, finding the perforated cutout on the right side, and then pulling the yellow loop handle back towards you. During the wintertime, public fast charging speeds will be reduced until the battery is warm. You can expedite this process by turning the heater and fan as high as possible and letting it run for 15 minutes or so, ideally while it's still plugged in at home. However, if your ID4 has been charging with a level 2 cable all night, this may not be necessary. With some careful planning, you can likely incorporate free destination chargers into your road trips, which will save you hundreds of dollars and many hours of your time. If you're heading out on a road trip, always bring your portable home charging cable with you, ideally one that has a level 1 and level 2 capability, because you never know when a public charging station may go offline or not work, and there are places like RV parks that may have an outlet available, even if it's not fast or free. On that same note, you can always call and ask a hotel or other property to use their chargers if you're in a crunch. Consider clicking the like button so others can see this video, and subscribe for more EV tips and reviews. Thanks so much for watching.